Journey to a Godly Woman podcast is back in action today. Two
Take
times
one.
this week.
Take one.
Take one. 2 times.
No edits.
Why? Yeah, I'm excited.
Whoa, you're excited. Why?
I don't know. I'm just in a good mood today.
I'm excited. I'm excited to know what the Lord has put on your heart.
Funny thing is, I was reading about Joseph last night.
Really?
And what I came up with was faith through the storm. What really got me was it was very, very long for him. Goodness, it was very long for Joseph, and he was only 17 years old when this storm started.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
He was 17? That's it?
That's what it said.
I thought he was younger than that.
That's it. Oh, dang.
When did the storm start in this?
It's in Genesis.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, in
the
beginning.
What was the first storm? Is this like when he was thrown in the well?
He was. Well, yeah, that's when it all started.
He was 17 then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he's an adult at that point. So.
Yeah, in some countries,
yeah,
he would be considered an adult. But, yeah, faith through the storm, and I feel like that's how my life has been. Honestly, when I read it, I was like,
nope.
Me and Joseph got something in common right now. We got something in common right now.
Tell me more.
Man, I mean, I don't got nobody out here trying to kill me other than the enemy,
Wow.
Trying to get me up out of here. But
brothers and sisters, no?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
Ops.
I hope I don't be doing nothing for me to be having ops. You know what I mean? I just be chilling.
I mean, nor was Joseph. He was chilling too.
Obviously, he was just excited to tell his brothers the dreams that he had.
He was probably a brat.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably.
I don't think he was a brat.
You don't think so?
I don't. Not a brat.
So you think
he was the youngest? Obviously,
you think that the youngest who had this colorful coat at that was just he was probably out here twirling in his coat, letting the wind, flap it, running around and them and those heels and deals.
He was the youngest out of
frolicking. He was probably frolicking,
I don't think so.
His brothers were probably out there working with the sheep and shoveling dung, and he out there, guys, you saw my coat? You saw my dream last night? All y'all was working. When y'all came in late from working, and in my dream, y'all working again, and then all of your bushels from the work that you did was still like it bowed down because it wasn't worthy enough. And guess what? I ain't do that a day in my life. But mine was better than yours.
I think he was really genuinely happy and excited to get this dream from God, downloaded from the Holy Spirit. I feel like he was, and that's my perspective, that Joseph, he just wanted to share this. And maybe it was more like, our life ain't gonna always be like this. Somebody got to make it out.
Pause. Hard pause. Life ain't gonna always be like that. His life was good. Literally, his daddy had servants. And mind you, his daddy had like 4 wives. I think Joseph's life was good. And it was known that he was the favorite out of like all these wives that his daddy had.
You said brat. I'm just trying to keep a positive mindset here.
I'm telling you, this guy was probably a pain. In his adolescence, he was probably a pain.
You think he was a pain? Because he was the youngest?
He was the youngest?
You know what?
And they all knew. And
I said that.
The Bible took time out of its day to add the detail. Because, the Bible's like descriptive and not descriptive.
Right.
Like it's real specific on the things it describes.
Right.
It took time out of its day, or maybe Moses did, to tell us that this guy Joseph was the favorite?
The favorite.
What?
Usually that's how it is with the youngest child anyway.
And you know what's crazy about that? The line of Jesus didn't even come through Joseph. And this man was the favorite. That is crazy.
That is very much crazy.
Right. Shouts out to the hoes of Judah, because that's the loins that it came through.
But that, obviously, yeah. So You have you have the perspective of he was a brat.
He had, well, I perceive him as in his adolescence to be a brat.
In his adolescence to be a brat. Mm-hmm. And then
Jeez.
and then my perspective is just feel like he was genuinely excited about
Life.
the greatness that he received through his dream, the vision that he received. I mean, and I only say that because I'm a visionary. So whenever I have dreams or visions, I be excited and I be like, feeling like I, want to tell somebody.
You be sharing your dreams with people?
Just one, maybe two people.
Two people.
Two, my mom and then my best friend. Okay. I don't share
with everybody.
No.
Well, Joseph was.
Obviously.
He thought they were
the whole family.
He thought they were his friends.
They were his brothers. They were more than friends. They were siblings. Would you say tomato, tomato?
All I know is that Simeon was like, yo, just kill him. It's like, just like get it over with.
Yeah.
Like, don't even put him.
They was tired of bro.
You got to be tired of
somebody just to say you want to kill your
kill
sibling?
your brother.
Not beat him up.
But
get him out of here.
End his life.
Gots to go.
He had to be
expeditiously.
He had to be something.
They was like, and he was coming. The father sent him to go get his brothers, and they saw him coming, and they was like, "It's time,
bro. This is it.
It's time.
This is the day. This is the day. Mm-hmm.
It's time now. Time now." And I say faith through the storm because, like we said, his brothers wanted him gone. They sold him, presented to their father that he was dead. Dipped his luscious coat in, my goodness, in, what was it, goat's blood?
Goat's blood, yes.
Goat's blood. And,
was it goat's blood? Or wasn't it lamb's blood? I don't know. But
it was one of the two, blood. But either way, to perceive that he was dead. Mm-hmm. Like for somebody to go through that type of lengths to make sure you gone and keep it that way.
And to have group thinking around it.
Man. Mm-hmm. But he did have one person that was kind of on his side.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it was Simeon. I don't know. One of them was like, oh, let's not kill him. Let's just sell him.
Right. Because he planned to go back and get him. Yeah. One of his brothers did plan to go back and get him. So would you rather be killed or sold?
Let me think about that.
Okay.
As a child of those who have been, part of the slave trade, I'm going to have to go with the sold.
Okay.
But then again, I think of my favorite anti-hero, quote unquote, anti-hero, Killmonger. Right? Throw me in. What did he say? Throw me in the ocean with my ancestors who fought for it. I'm like, oh, okay. He about that life.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you if I would do. Depends if it's a quick death or if I'm slowly dying.
I have no problem. If I
want to be sold.
I have no problem dying for like valor or dignity.
Okay.
But I just can't die like just like for nothing.
Oh,
I gotta know that it's for a reason.
Okay.
He could have possibly died just on the humbug of a coat. Like, bro, you can have it.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you can have this coat. I don't even like it like that.
Oh my gosh.
I see rainbows all the time. Okay.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said, if it's a quick death, absolutely, just go ahead and just
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, get me up out of here.
I mean, but not like a Jesus death.
Oh Lord have mercy, no.
Passion of the Christ type thing.
No.
What about for all of humanity?
We talked on on Monday, and I told you that I am.
You ain't for the people.
I'm not.
And you meant that.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I try. I definitely try.
Okay.
You might be able to cut me in line or
That's nice.
take my spot,
Parking spot.
or
But that's kind of where
that's kind of where I draw the line.
Well, hold on a second. As a mother, you had given birth.
Yeah.
So you could have died.
Right.
So you technically gave it all.
For my kids, I would.
your
But if we're
kids.
talking about
Bobby off the street.
right now,
Okay. That's what's up. I learn something new about you every day. It's a little scary, but it's, something new every day. So tell me more about this this vision and how this ties into our topic today.
I say faith through the storm because, like I said, he he was sold and he went to prison or jail or wherever you want to call it for that time. And he started to interpret dreams in there, which word of mouth got out, and he ended up doing that for Potiphar, and eventually he ended up becoming king over
Akbakpanea?
yeah.
Akbakpanea. There it is.
But eventually, yeah, it ended up happening. But when I think about that, I feel like you have to have a lot of faith to be able to still stick that out and do God's work. Like, you telling me that my siblings not only tried to kill me, but instead of killing me, they sold me. And I got to go to prison. And I got to sit in here, and that takes a lot of faith. Do you think? That takes a lot of faith and being humble to be able to still do the Lord's work and still believe in the vision that God gave him from when he was 17 years old. It took him a while to get to the vision.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when we are going through the storm or we going through trials and tribulations or whatever you want to call it, we do tend to lose the faith. And we stop doing God's work. We stop doing what we were called to do, depending on the person. And we start putting our own feelings and needs first instead of still pushing through and doing what you were called to do. Because even during that time, you're still being a testimony to people.
But the weird thing about the story of Joseph is we don't know if he had any dreams past the ones that he shared with his brothers.
Right. Those are the only ones that I know of.
Those are the only ones that we're told about. And it's interesting that his dream or him dreaming and his relationship with dreams is what got him into the situation and also out of the situation.
Right. Because he had to have something to hold on to.
It's interesting because it's apparent that he had a sound relationship with God.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I wonder if he thought of the dream often. The dream that got him in trouble. I wonder if he thought of that often, or if he believed in it so much that he never thought about it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's a difference. It
is a difference.
Because to constantly think about your dream over and over again would mean that there is a sense of, it's almost like a desperation is tied to it. Like you don't fully believe it. Like I don't have to think about the sun coming up every day because I know that it will come up every
It's
day.
gonna come up
It's
every
going to come up every day. Now, I don't have my watch set to it, right?
Right.
It's not part of my journaling process, but I know it's going to happen. So I wonder if, because of course there had to be some kind of hurt
Absolutely. It was. You talking about
when his brothers did that to him.
it was because they end up coming back. They end up coming to the land he owned or was king of to get food because there was famine coming or had already came. And he saw them and he knew who they were. They didn't know who he was. And he was hurt.
So, which would mean that which means that if he did it, so basically, if Joseph had that on the top layer of his heart, he probably meditated over that for a very long time.
He more than likely probably did because he was so hurt by it.
The moment that he saw them.
And what didn't even make it better was they had, I guess the dad had, they had another kid after him,
Right.
after he left. So that made him feel horrible.
So what's interesting though about that is that would, if that's the case, right, of him meditating on that, like if that's in the top soil of his heart, right, that would mean that God still did these various mighty things through him, even though he still would have had to work on forgiveness.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Because he definitely had to work on that.
So then the question is, because it's weird. It's like, was it malice though? You think Joseph had malice towards his brothers? Or do you think he was just like, wow, they did me like that, but you know what? They're my guys.
No.
You think it was malice, huh?
Absolutely.
You think it was like,
The way I read it,
if I were to see these cats in the street by themselves, it's on.
you can tell, but you can tell he still loved them so much that he wouldn't have did.
What they did to him.
He wouldn't have did it.
But he toyed
Every time
the
tried to-
idea.
Absolutely, he did. Because he would try to be mean to them, and then he'll go and hide and cry. And he was devastated. He was hurt. He was, he still loved them. You could tell he still loved them.
I can see the story of Joseph in the story of the Hebrews and in the story of the African American, quote unquote African American. I can see that.
Enlighten me.
So I can see it from the stance of, if someone says, hey, you know what, we're all from the motherland of Africa. Mm-hmm. And during the slave trade, as which many people know, that it was people of the same complexion that would sell people of the same complexion. Mm-hmm. And fast forward generations later, some people probably don't know this, but the amount of inventions that African Americans have contributed to the United States is a large reason why the United States is as prosperous as it is.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
And not just things from like in the 20th century, but I mean throughout. So many, and we're talking like from light bulbs to locomotives, right? So when we hear like in the days of Carnegie, so Carnegie became rich. So this not Dale Carnegie, but what is Carnegie's surname? Anyway, this is around the same time as J.P. Morgan. So anyway, Carnegie became wealthy for a locomotive expansion of the railroads, and obviously you have a lot of manual labor in that, but they had to make locomotives to where they could basically ride well without overheating. And part of that was lubrication of the oil for locomotives. Anyway, so they said, hey, the best locomotives are called the real McCoys, right? And that's where the saying comes from, that's the real McCoy right there. Well, that was a black guy. His name was Elijah McCoy. So they would have never been able to have that expansion, let alone the advancement of locomotives and other engines of that type without even that. Or like the filament of the light bulb would have never happened. I don't care how great people think Edison is. It would have never happened without Lattimore, who was a black guy. And these are just small things.
Yeah.
So it's like the idea of the movie Hidden Figures, that type of tapestry is all throughout the entire United States.
Okay.
So even like the idea of Paul Revere, the guy who rode with Paul Revere was a black man. And so Paul Revere didn't cover all that land on his own to basically tell them the British is coming.
Right.
The other guy was a black guy. And so when I tell you, and literally in every if people wanted to actually read history, you would be shocked for there to be quote unquote 5% of a population at that time or 10% of a population, the amount of contributions for inventions. The fact that we have refrigerators is a black man.
Wow.
The fact we have air conditioning is a black guy. So I can go on and on about this, like literally, because I tell my kids these things all the time. That alone is crazy. So here's what I'm getting at. Can you imagine tribes in Africa sell your family or sell your tribe to slave traders, to Jewish slave traders, and to European slave traders, take you to a faraway land. You work in this faraway land, and yet you make so many contributions that actually give advancements to that country. So much so that your quote unquote motherland doesn't have that. Like there's no even right now there are certain parts of Africa that have no electricity. They have no electricity whatsoever. But then you could think of it and say they could have had they may have had electricity along with refrigeration, et cetera, because the people that invented that had the ideas for that were the same people that you sold.
Wow.
So then it's like in that regard, it's almost like metaphorically, is there like compassion on that? It's like, wow, all of these, like if someone, you can look it up right now, you can look up the gentleman who actually made the computer, or it's a woman who actually made the first cell phone.
Yeah.
And it's like all these inventions, it's just, again, the contributions are crazy.
Absolutely, they are.
That's all I'm getting at. Contributions are crazy.
Yeah.
And to think that the contributions came from the people that were thrown away, metaphorically. So that's what I'm getting at. So what I'm trying to allude to. And so Joseph in the story is technically thrown away. 30 pieces of silver is like nothing. And if we're going to be even more honest, depending on the area that they're in, if they're close to Africa, a lot of minerals are very close to the top of the soil. So it's like, if you wanted silver that bad, I mean, unless there's a special insignia on it, I don't see
Wasn't hard to get.
I could probably find some silver.
Absolutely.
That's just my thought. I don't know. Maybe.
I agree with that.
I think it's a wealthy area. I don't know, it's very rich in minerals. And I would assume that you could, like, if you really wanted, if that was the idea. So, like, 30 pieces of silver is pretty cheap.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
30 pieces of silver is pretty cheap for someone's life.
Right. Very cheap for somebody's life. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, 30 pieces of silver is very cheap. So it makes me wonder, like, that's like a slap in the face.
It is a slap. There's no like. That definitely is a slap in the face.
And not to be like, just kind of to kind of go back on it, the economy at that time, especially for his tribe of people, they didn't need money.
They didn't. They did not need money.
They didn't need money. So it's like, my guy, what we doing here?
Right.
Because I mean, the next
Selling me for what? At this point, you're selling me for fun.
for fun, or a collectible item that you might never use. As a matter of fact, I think the next chapter after he's sold goes into Judah going into town messing with harlots. Mm-hmm. Maybe he spent some of that silver
that he
got acting the fool.
That don't make no sense.
So it's like 30 pieces of silver. And you know, and
I think I'm worth a little bit more.
A little bit more, but apparently, you know, it was enough for Judah to get, you know,
get what he needed.
but that was in exchange for a life.
Now, I was going to ask you this question, but I probably already know what the answer is going to be. But for the audience sake, I think I'm going to ask it anyway. So, would you, if you were in Joseph's shoes, would you forgive your siblings?
Yeah, I would.
I knew you was going to say that.
Yeah, I would. I would be hurt, but I would have to forgive them, for sure.
Eventually, or you will have to forgive them like immediately. I mean, because you can always forgive somebody, but the timing of the forgiveness, are you gonna make them suffer a little bit? Are you gonna?
I have this issue where I can't really remember things too long, especially if it's something like this, like detrimental. I can't remember something too long.
Then you so like, dang, what were we beefing about?
Yeah, that's me. Now, there'll be something in me that's like, I know I shouldn't be talking to Joe Blow, so I'm not really going to like talk to Joe Blow, but I feel like there's a reason like I really shouldn't be talking to Joe Blow, but I'm just not going to, you know. Yeah. So
are you going to, or would you forgive and then, okay, we're family again. You know, you're welcome into my kingdom, or would you be more of like, yeah, I know it's famine out there, but
oh no, I would have saved him.
You would save him.
I would have saved him. Yeah,
that's good. And I would too, actually.
And I may have toyed with the idea like
that's
Joseph.
That's a long time though, because that's a long time.
What do you mean?
Mad at somebody.
Oh yeah, right. Like how do you when I think of people being able to hold on to hurt like that, or
that's a lot of energy just to be holding on to grudges.
I can't do it. Because, you know, even if it's something like real detrimental, I've had some bad things happen. People have done some crazy stuff. And I can't hold on to it. I think the most I've been upset with someone was maybe a week. And it probably wasn't even a full week.
Really?
Yeah, I can't hold on to it. My wife, Lord have mercy. So let's say the person's name is James, right? And so every time you hear the name James, even in the Bible, she's like, if I ever see him, like, girl, that was 7 years ago. We haven't spoken to James in like 7 years. No, this is just the truth. It is what it is. It's the truth. And so it's like, what? It's like, why are you so upset? And James, in this example, James would have been someone that hurt me. Mm-hmm. James didn't even hurt her. James done hurt me, and she's still holding on to it. I'm like, girl,
I didn't let that go.
I can't even tell you exactly what James did at this point.
And she got it written
down.
Front to back.
Yes.
Top to bottom.
Yes.
I already know.
Craziness. It's super crazy.
I'm like.
And I ask her, I'm like, how do you do that?
I'm in the middle because depending on how bad it was, I can hold on to it. But now, to be totally honest, now that I have been walking on this journey, it's hard for me to hold on to stuff. It's like my spirit gets so convicted fast. And I be trying to hold on to it. That's the bad part. I be trying to hold on. Be like, no, let me be mad. I feel like I deserve to be mad at this for a little while. Just let me be mad for a little while. But I just can't.
It's hard to do that.
It is hard, and not only that, it takes so much energy to keep something bottled up inside like that.
Yeah.
Because and this is probably something you didn't know either, but when I was younger, I wasn't really a talker. So like how I am now. But I if I had a problem with something, I wouldn't say it. I would literally just keep it in, hold it in, and I'll push it down. And it's like it would just get stacked on another book. It was like a book getting stacked on another book, and whenever else something else happened, another book gets stacked up until I just explode. And it got so bad to the point where me and my mom had a huge altercation when I was a kid.
You beat her
Or I
up.
was a teenager.
You had to put hands on her.
Had a little blackout, but but no, seriously, because like, and I learned that that's just not, it's not healthy. After that, I did still hold on to stuff, but it couldn't be as long as I used to hold on to it. And now I'm just like you said, a week. I probably can get by with maybe 2 weeks, and then I'm just like, all right, I need to communicate with this person. My mom used to always tell me, Tari, nobody can read your mind. I'm like,
She's right.
Yes, they can.
No, they cannot. No one can read
Yes,
your
they
mind.
can. They can read my mind.
And if they can read your mind,
I still should say something.
would you want them to read your mind?
Oh no,
Right?
absolutely.
Invasion of privacy, right? Like how even it's like
They'll
making
really be
assumptions.
like, yeah, I don't like you.
Yeah. How dare you, you know?
I heard what you thought. I heard it.
I do that sometimes at home. Like, I heard that.
Yeah, so no, I couldn't.
Shoot.
I think the longest thing that I've recently held on to that I let go of, was it 2 years ago? It was about 4 years.
You were able to hold on to something for 4 years?
Yeah, it's a thing, but
As in like wanting vengeance as well?
I don't wish bad on nobody, but I was just pissed.
Okay. Okay.
You can be mad at somebody and not wish ill on them. Now that's one thing I'm not gonna do is wish ill on nobody.
So I'll be honest. I have never, and I think this is maybe one of the reasons why I don't. So like, one time I had a guy cheat me out of $90,000, right? And I was hurt by it. Yep,
I'm hurt.
I was hurt by it. And I was also in a
Now
in a
I'll probably wish vengeance on him. $90,000.
I was also in a financial situation where like, if it was just $1,000, it would have done something beneficial for my life at that point. And the interesting thing about it was I let it go.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What?
And I don't know if it was the next year or the same year, but he got hit by a car on my birthday and was put in the hospital.
Oh my God.
And he was basically like paralyzed for about a year. Yeah. There was another person who, and I guess what I'm getting at is,
The guy will fight your battles better than you can.
oh my gosh. Like legit. So not trying to be funny.
Right.
But just
Yeah, I'll be
metaphorically.
okay. Yeah.
I didn't look into it, all that stuff. But just metaphorically, like if someone didn't have insurance, right? That could be a $90,000 insurance bill.
Could, yep.
You know, all jokes aside. So I guess, and I have other stories where in just different occasions, people who have done some crazy stuff. I did let it go, and like, crazy stuff happens to, and it's not like I'm not looking for it.
Right.
But someone will say like, "Hey, did you hear what happened to so and so?" I'm like, "No, I haven't. Honestly, I haven't spoken to so and so in 2 years." Well, man, last month this happened to that person. I'm like, "What?" So it's like, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, like, let it go because
There you go. Like else.
it's almost like it's like faith.
Yeah.
Like, let it go.
Because God, either way, God got me.
Oh my gosh, God is like waiting for you to hand it off.
He said, "Cast it into the sea of forgetfulness."
He said, "Blue 42, set hut, hand me the rock. I'm gonna run with it." God will.
Man, listen.
God will do it.
He definitely will.
He carried a team, legit.
Legit team, absolutely. Yeah, I commend you for that because $90,000. Who you think I am, Chelsea Clinton?
Right? Yeah, yeah, and so it's like, wow, but you ask Marika, this Sunday or whatever. Ask her about that.
I am.
But I mean, and things like that have happened more than once. more like more
While
than
y'all
one
was
occasion.
together,
Yeah, so she was able to see like what,
I can only imagine how she.
but she still got it in her purse,
I don't know she do.
and I'm like, girl, I done buried that. Like we good. I'm not even thinking about that. It's like James who, or John who,
And she
whatever.
probably be looking like Leland.
Yeah. So I'm like, what that go?
That was almost $100,000.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So hey, but and I guess it's harder. It's harder in like everything's harder in practice than it is in conversation.
Right. Absolutely.
Like it's easy. It's always easy for us to say anything, and then if or when something happens, it's like,
Right.
did I say that?
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
So if you can for us, like the vision and him having to have a delayed fulfillment of his vision, how does that relate to us?
Man. I feel like that relates to me all the time.
All the time?
Not all the time, but it has recently, yes. Like for instance with well, I don't know how delayed, but either way, delayed is delayed. I would say with my job promotion, that took a immense lot of faith. But I noticed that when I just basically stopped looking for it, it came.
Oh, you handed it off?
Basically, I was just like, you know what, God, I don't even care. At this point, because my whole objective was that our department we merged with another department. We were told one thing and then that thing didn't happen. So we merged with the other department. And we had to get our AR down before we went over to the other department. So that took like a year and a half to do. It was supposed to be 6 months, but you know how that goes. And long story short, I was the first person to go over to the new department. But prior to being the first person to go over, I had I don't even know how many interviews within my job to move. And they all said the same thing. We think you're great. We love you. But you don't have leadership experience. And I'm just like, oh. I think that's the worst line to say to somebody. Because if I don't have the experience, they give me the experience. Especially if you think I check all the boxes in every other area. That makes no sense. But, I digress. And so March got here and I went over to the other department. I was my happy, cheerful self because I'm just like, at the end of the day, if this is where you want me at, if this is where I'm supposed to be at, then this is where I'm going to be. I mean, because I've tried to go elsewhere and the doors just keep closing. And after training, literally 90 days later, I end up getting promoted. And it might have took me 2 years to get here, but I got here. And I had to keep holding on to some type of faith. It wasn't a lot. I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. It was definitely the mustard seed. Definitely the mustard seed of faith. But all I know, I just kept hearing God say, just be still and it's going to come. He also had to work some things within me because 2 years is a long time to be able to hold on to what you know and what you were told that you're supposed to get. But through that time, I had to work on some things within myself to be able to get to the state that I'm in now.
You care to share about these things?
Absolutely, I can do that. I knew he's got to do that. I work in customer service, And to be honest, I've been trying to get off the phones since I got on the phones. I've been on the phone since 2013, period, with different companies, whatever. But with this job, I've been in my job 6 years. And I'm just like, I don't know why I got to stay on the phones. I don't like it. But you know, when you don't like something, it shows through your work ethics, through your tone, through your how you work and all of that. It shows. So he had to literally work through me or with me through that. I prefer not to be on the phones, but I'm more comfortable with it. I'm not like, oh, I don't want to be here. You don't hear it in my voice that I don't want to be here today. I'm just being honest and transparent. Beforehand, he had to literally work on my tone, my attitude, my everything, because what I've learned about myself is my attitude can shift the room from left to right, good or bad. My mood, my attitude, it definitely shifts rooms. So I have to take that time for myself to be able to pour into me to make sure that I'm in an upbeat mood, not just for my job, but for whatever environment that I'm around, so that I can be the light in the person I'm supposed to be. Because the person that I was prior to 2023, it was a struggle. I would have not liked to be my boss. I wouldn't want to be my boss if I was her. Because I know she probably like, this girl. I'm probably being dramatic, but either way, I know I gave her a headache. I know for sure. And if you're hearing this, I'm so sorry. But I know I gave her a headache because, sometimes I think I know everything when it comes to my work, because I'm just being so honest right now. I sometimes I think I know everything, and instead of letting people just do their job and I, learn from whatever it is they're trying to tell me, I'll be like, I already know that. Mm-hmm.
I am shocked.
Absolutely.
I am just...
It's definitely been a work in progress. And if I'm going to go into leadership, I need to do it with an upbeat manner and be the full potential of person that I'm supposed to be, that I know that I can be. And that took some time. So I couldn't fully, at first I was fully blaming it on the people that denied me at the interviews, which the reason why they didn't pick me. I was just like, oh, that nobody want to hire me, but it's not that they didn't want to hire me. I was the problem. I was the common denominator. I had to work on myself. For real. When I tell you, after I got the promotion, that is what came to me. It's like, I had to literally mold you into this person, because the leader that you want to be, you don't like these leaders, but you're being that leader before you even get there. I need you to be a better leader. And nobody want to come in and your boss got an attitude before the shift even starts. Nobody wants to be up under a leader that think they know everything. I don't like these faces.
I wonder. We're going to take the heat off for you.
Okay.
We're going to take the heat off for you, because I'm thinking that is probably the reflection point that Joseph had. He didn't have to do no work.
Right. With his brother. He was the youngest.
He never had to do no work.
My God.
And he didn't have to establish any type of work ethic.
Jesus.
Because it came to him.
Wow.
So he probably looked at it introspective and said, well, I'm here.
Right.
And you know what? I didn't have to do this kind of stuff where I was from. Mm-hmm. But now that I have to do it, I'm gonna be the best jailbait in this jail.
That I can be.
I'm gonna be the best servant in this house that I can be.
Wow.
And that probably was a fast track to actually cultivate his leadership skills so that he could become
Right. Exactly. Jesus, that is so. Now, I didn't
because
even look at it like
he
that.
he knew that at the end, because when he finally speaks to his brothers, he says, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. In other words, he knew that he needed to gain something from that experience to land him where he was.
Absolutely.
I just hope you ain't gotta go through no
No. But even when you said fast track, that reminded me that that's why God told me to serve on econ. Because and if econ is the ministry at my church, just like member services for people that's listening, but because you literally have to love on people, you have to check on people, and you have to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit and discern when you need to check on that person. Because there has been times that the Holy Spirit has told me to check on somebody, and they be like, "Man, I've been going through it today." So I had to set up that time to spend that one-on-one with God and then me, and to make sure that I'm getting everything that I need so that I can pour into the people that's under me.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Because there are people that, and this is there's this well-known business, I'm calling Magnet.
Okay.
This guy named, his name is Alex Hermosi, which I'm Mosey Nation, what's up? Because I'm a fan of Alex. But he says that people too often try to get the quick paydays, and they don't value skill building.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that if they value skill building for what may seem like a long time, 2 to 5 years, but if they value the skill building after the 2 to 5 year period, they're going to outpace that person who just went for that promotion. And so he gives an example of someone who, like, both people graduate college with the same degree. Mm-hmm. One person goes into like a commission-based role where they're basically making nothing, and then someone else goes into a role where they're like an analyst. They start off with maybe $60,000 or $80,000. Mm-hmm. And in a 2 to 5 year span, the guy who starts off with 80, he ends up, and within 5 years, earning maybe $92,000,
Right.
Additional for their salary. The guy who chose to build on his skills, et cetera, et cetera, that guy ends up doing 100 times better, as an example.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's just because they both started at the same point. When they were looking for jobs, one guy was looking for the immediate gratification for his degree, which was, let me get the best salary I can get. Mm-hmm. Another guy was like, you know what? This isn't my top of my potential. Surely I can still grow and add things to my utility belt. And that adds dividends over time, always.
That's good. Yeah. 'Cause that's basically what I was doing, because I was going for supervisor, manager positions. And when I came over here to this department, I felt like I was starting over because it was basically just a lateral. And I'm just like, it's going to take me forever to move up. But how their ladder is, they have so many different tiers. They promote more while you're still developing those skills. So I think the way that I'm doing it now, it's definitely going to be better for the long haul, because I would have known what to do in each tier. So I'm starting from the bottom, from tier 1 all the way to the management tier. So when tier 1 or tier 2 comes up to me and says, you just don't understand, I do understand, because I was literally in your seat and came over here from a whole nother department and had to start from the bottom. So yeah, I think that's really a good point. Definitely.
Yeah. And Joseph started from the bottom.
Yes, he did. From the well, actually.
Hey. And I'm wondering, like, how much water was in that well?
Was there water in there?
Right. And why? And if it wasn't, why?
Because it definitely was a...
And then what softened that blow? Did he land on his feet or did he land, I think about all these details when I read in the Bible. I'd be like, well, huh? Okay. Can he swim? Can he not swim?
How deep is the well?
First off, where did he learn how to swim if he could swim? Like, I think of all those things. That's just me.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool. So you really have blessed the folks who are listening today.
I feel like we definitely blessed them today. And I was blessed by it because I got a different perspective from you. It's from you.
Say what?
Because I did not know. I knew that the story and my story tied together, but I didn't know it tied together so well that way. Because I did not look at it from that perspective. This is why it's always good to have folks.
But see, your spirit, your subconscious knew that because you kept saying, I feel like I'm like, girl, I hope you not to that extent, but 30 pieces of silver today might be, a McChicken.
Right.
In comparison. Because 30 pieces of silver, just for you guys to put it in perspective, 30 pieces of silver was enough that 10 men split 30 pieces of silver.
Wow.
And one of them we know for sure went and spent his money on some prostitutes.
On some prostitutes.
And I'm sure that couldn't have been expensive.
Not back then.
Because they did it on the side of the road.
Literally. East side.
Yeah, on the highway, as it said.
Highway in the back.
I mean, so the nerve, If I was her, I'd be like, "This it?" And you on the side of the road?
I can't get no goat or no lamb or nothing.
Nothing. You know what? Matter of fact, he was so cheap. He had to give this woman his staff, didn't he?
He staffed.
He staffed it up.
He sure did.
So he probably didn't pay the full bill.
He didn't have enough for the bill.
Literally.
Because they came back. He said, "That's my stuff." And he looked at her name was Tamara. Yeah. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, Tamara, whatever,
That was his daughter.
Tamar Braxton, so. Look, you saw his face?
That was his daughter-in-law.
First off, let me say this for Tamar, just in case somebody be like, I don't know Tamar, okay? Well, I'm just saying. Just
she
the name
can
reminded
now.
me.
Don't we talk about Tamar?
You know what? Actually, I think I'm a Tamar fan.
I hope so.
I didn't know that her husband or former husband. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was that. I didn't know he was a troublemaker.
I didn't know that either.
I thought he was like a Reuben Studdard type of.
I don't get all into the celebrity stuff, but I do love her voice. Her voice is amazing.
She's talented.
I think the whole
family's talented. Yeah, it really is. Speaking of, she has a part as Star in this show called Young Love. It's an animation.
Oh, okay.
So it's her voice. So she's not like acting per se. But
I
it's good. It's actually so good. Warner Brothers is really creepy to me.
Obviously.
Why is that?
They've always been a little creepy to me.
Warner Brothers is a very creepy company. Their catalog is very creepy to me.
Yeah, I thought Pixar was
creepy.
Yeah, but I think Warner Bros. Got them beat.
Wow. You think Pixar is creepy?
Just a little bit.
The jumping lamp Pixar?
Yes.
Is it like the Easter eggs that are creepy to you, or just something else? Oh, we're getting deep.
No.
Okay.
As I gotten older, younger, whatever you want to call it,
I'm listening.
I'm not really a fan. Like the Toy Story movies.
Yeah. Toy Story 1 was enough.
I feel like it was. I don't know why they made all these 4s and 5s and stuff, but it's how you just look at stuff, and now it's like kind of like from a different perspective because you're older, and it's like this is what I was watching as a kid.
And you also have to, now that we're older, we have to think to ourselves, another adult who's probably older than me
made this.
Like, this person took the time to have a storyboard and have a background for each character type thing. Like, yuck.
This is a bit.
That's
a bit
disgusting.
creepy.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers is so weird to me because Warner Brothers really does, believe it or not, they harp very, very deep on Black people.
You think so?
I know so.
You got a theory?
No, it's no theory. It's legit in their catalog.
Oh wow.
Like, if you it's called Max now. But think about this. Think about the app for HBO Max or for Max, and think about the app for BET Plus. Similar colors.
Right.
A lot of shows that you think are quote unquote Black shows are sponsored by Warner Brothers. Because see, Warner Brothers is also TBS.
Wow.
Yeah, it's also, so the Love and Huntsville's, all that stuff, that's Warner Brothers. Like, Warner Brothers is also in that dynamic
Shut up.
of like part of their investment. Yeah, it's like they're real. It's so creepy to me. Like The Last OG, which is a TBS show, that's Warner Brothers. Like, their catalog is very, very odd to me. Because it's odd. Like, you guys, like, I'm about to show it to you when we're done.
Okay.
But you can be like, what?
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, where are they going with this?
I think everything has where are they going with this vibe nowadays?
Yeah.
Or it's been that way where we're just now really catching.
Like, Living Single is Warner Brothers.
What?
Exactly. So when you think of it when you look, I'm gonna show you. Like Martin.
Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers. That's a TB. That was. So when you see TBS and Tri-State, that's Warner Brothers. Exactly. So now you're like, why were they playing this angle so hard in the 80s and 90s? Like, when you look at the movies that they got, you're like, what?
Don't trust it.
Yeah, you're like, why? The Wayans, like, why were y'all going so? Yeah, you'd be like, what? Y'all been going hard on this for like, what was the angle here?
Centuries.
Yes, and so like when you look at it that way, that's how I feel with them. I'm like, wow. When you look at it that way, it's like, this is creepy.
Absolutely.
This catalog is creepy. So anyway, just one more as an example, the This Is Us thing.
I did not watch that.
I didn't watch it either, but that's Warner Brothers.
I believe it. Is Get Out?
Yep.
See, I'm not really a fan of those type of movies. I try to stay away from as much as possible. It just that it creeps me out. Not even in a spiritual way, but just it's creepy. It very much. Because why?
And it's what's weird. What's weird to me about Get Out for sure. So I did watch Get Out.
I did.
And it's something that I can only watch once.
Obviously, because it was
for
creepy,
good reasons.
wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The creator of Get Out is married, to a Caucasian lady. So it's like, I wonder when she saw the movie, and obviously they worked together.
Right.
So they both worked on it together. So it's like, was that his cry for help, or like?
Probably. I can't
Did he have an experience
through with that, because that is just. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't see it, but the previews was really enough, honestly. it just seemed like you look at a movie, you be like, nah,
I know.
I'm not going to see that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You hit it with I'm good. Yeah.
Like that. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. I don't even know what the name of the movie is called, but the one with Keke Palmer, and I guess they got the stuff coming down from the sky or
Nope.
whatever.
Right? Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Nope, I didn't see that. Nope.
No, that's what you
nope.
said to it.
I said exactly what I said. I said I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to show it to you, but nonetheless, I think this was a great chat, great episode.
This was really good. Another therapy.
A therapy session. Apparently, we're learning so much about you.
So much.
And guess what? I didn't have to share nothing about me. This was a great episode. Okay. I will say this. I was going to bring this up earlier. We're talking about like holding grudges. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know if I want to say that part, but
Oh wow.
I know, right? Now I'm holding back. Pins and needles. Where's one of these buttons at? Wow, that's deep. Okay, so okay, a family member of mine would be like, "Leland, you going to go take the kids to see your dad?" I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "But that nigga ain't see you when you was a kid." I'm like, "Hold on, my lord."
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Shots
Fired.
I'd be like, "Well,
No glass.
that is yeah." Scope on or scope off. I'm like, okay, so yes, that is true. But with that being true, that does not mean that I should do the same.
Right.
Right?
No, you should not do the same.
Oh boy. But what?
No, there's no but.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
No.
So
that's just like, I look at it as you starting I don't want to say curse, but you know, a generational curse for real. Because like,
I'm breaking one, right? Is that what you're saying?
well, if you were to do that,
Oh, okay.
you would be. But yeah, you not doing that is breaking that. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, why?
But also,
does he want to see his grandkids, or y'all, or whatever?
yeah, I'm gonna say yes, but I guess it's also one of those things where, as you know, we live in an area where it's just us, as a family,
Right. Yeah.
So what happens a lot of times is people they make the assumption that
This is not tit for tat.
you can afford it, and you should also go ahead and visit all of us. It's like it's a lot of states for us to be flying to every year,
Right.
like, and it's 4 of us when we
Go.
go. It's not just like one
Not
ticket.
driving. So
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, and so, but nonetheless, people will say that they want you to do something, or they'll say, for example, I'll just talk about me. So certain family members will be like, "Man, we miss you guys. We really want to see you guys." Blah blah blah, but they will not come to visit,
it be like that.
and they have no desire to come to visit.
It's just a talking point in the conversation.
It's a talking point.
It is.
But if you were to travel to, I don't know, say London, then the question is, oh man, y'all didn't want to come see us? It's like, what? What are we talking about? What? Oh, well, we'll be back, at X time, so you're happy to swing on by. It's like, oh, but
you're already out.
Right. It's one of those things. So it's kind of like, okay.
You literally passed us going to London.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway,
It's just a talking point.
That's that. Yeah.
I've learned it. I do it sometimes.
You do it. You do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't lie and say I don't.
It's not really a lie, but it is a talking point.
People should just be like, you know what?
It's not a lie for me because I do be trying, but
You do?
I get busy.
Wow.
I do try. I do.
But is your family here though, right?
Yes. My family.
Y'all crazy, boy. Y'all crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Straight wild. Wild. Wow.
It is just like, well, you probably, I don't know if you know or if you do this or whatever, but when you see people out and you be like, we should catch up. You be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you up.
No, I don't lie like that. But I had that happen to me about 2 weeks ago.
I've been meaning to catch up with them, but life happens. If I don't talk to you on a regular, it goes in the back of my mind. So, sorry.
I think people should just say what they mean. Because I've had some some guy friends. That's the issue apparently. That I have good intentions. Because I've had some guy friends be like, yeah, bro, yeah, man, we got hit up. Yeah. You text them the next day, the next week, the next month. It's like, wow, okay, I guess that's it. So apparently we're not going to the basketball game.
Nope.
So that's cool.
Most of the time it's a talking point, depending on, the person. I'm pretty sure people have good intentions on really doing it, but
yeah, I mean, so does everyone in hell. Hitler had great intentions.
Oh my goodness.
He did. And for anyone who doesn't think that he had great intentions, y'all should read a book.
I think he had good intentions too.
He did. He literally said, he was like, yo, our economy sucks. Our economy sucks. And you know what?
Let's keep it a piece.
London said they're not going to lend us any more money. And all the other banks said that too. So you know what I'm going to do? All their employees, I'm coming for you. And if I can't get them, I'm going to get their family members. That's basically that's literally what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah. The good intention was to get a country out of debt. Now the motives,
not so good.
Not so good.
Maybe if him and old boy collabed together, it probably would have been a little.
Which one?
MLK.
He had good intentions.
Yeah, he had good intentions.
His motives were trash.
I think both their motives were very trash.
Trash. MLK's motives were so trash that at the end of the civil rights movement, this man says, talking about Martin Luther King, y'all. He says, my greatest fear is that I have negotiated people into a burning building. Yes, sir. Burning. Like burning bad. Like if the building burning so bad that if you don't die from the flames, you're gonna die from the smoke.
Right.
You're gonna die from insulation, right? That's how bad
either
that
way,
was.
Hitler or MLK, we was just
or Gandhi. They all it's human beings. Like
yeah.
Horrible.
They should have just collaborated, put their heads together, and figured something else out than what was done.
For real.
That wasn't it. Either way.
All
three. Wasn't it?
BIPOC or not, okay?
My goodness.
Nonetheless, this is all I'm saying. As we wrap it up, y'all, journey to a... Oh, goodness, I don't know why I keep getting stuck on Why do you get stuck?
I don't know.
Do you want to change the name of it or something?
No.
Do you no longer want it to be a journey? You want to be destination?
No, not destination.
Destination of a...
Destination of a godly woman. No, Journey to a Godly Woman podcast, y'all. And we got Lily yet again.
Well, tell them what's going to happen on the next episode, though, for Saturday.
Absolutely. So next week, I have a really good friend of mine. She's coming on here to tell y'all how she accomplished her goals, dreams, and aspirations in life by writing a children's book.
Wow.
And I got kids.
And some people can't even read.
Right.
And she can read and write.
Yes. Her and her son wrote a children's book.
What?
She got a boy.
He's published?
She is.
But, I mean, is he in the book?
Absolutely.
Is he also, like, a co-author of the book?
I believe so, yeah.
That is amazing. Is he still in school?
Yeah, he's only, like, 5. He's not.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep,
he's doing things that his teachers can't do.
Yeah, man.
At the age of 5.
At the age of 5. Wrote a book. And she has books in Barnes and Noble. I'm not going to give y'all all the scoopity scoop. All I'm going to say is be in tune. Be in tune. Because we're going to interview her and we're going to dig and dive deep into how she got this done. Because honestly, sitting down writing a book it takes a lot of attention span. and a lot of time. Yes, I'm currently in the process of writing mine, and it's just
Oh my word. Y'all hear that? Okay.
y'all are the first to hear it. I'm in the process of writing mine still, so
That's what's up. I did not know that. That's awesome.
nobody knows, but now everybody knows.
Nah.
Everybody
Oh
knows.
man. So apparently she might be Joseph after all. Here she go. Yeah. My dream was to write this book. My book is published.
Oh my goodness.
Woo boy.
Anyway,
Might have
stay
to edit
tuned
that.
for that episode. And y'all know y'all can follow me on Instagram at RE_Ria REAH. And then on Facebook, it's just Ria REAH space REAH. And then we got Tickety Talk, my fave. Hey y'all, TikTok is MMG1220. And then of course, we got YouTube, Journey to a Godly Woman podcast. I love talking to y'all. Thank you, Lily.
Thank
for
you.
tuning in, and we'll chat with y'all next Saturday.